Welcome to another episode of
The Epic Family Road Trip.
Alright, so we are heading out on an adventure. The kids are here at the X-Hangar editing up the series from Baja, which by the way is going to be awesome. I've seen some of the footage. We have Carol's brother here, Keith, and his wife Caitlin with us, and Carol and I are going to head out with them and go south. It's somewhere, we're going to see if we can get down to the Grand Tetons, that national park. We probably are going through Yellowstone on the way, so we've got some really awesome stuff coming. We're going to do up a couple of episodes for you and show you some of the spectacular countryside and some of the wonders of the world here in Montana and Wyoming. And so we're going to have a great time, and we're taking you with us every step of the way. So we just rolled into Yellowstone Park now. At the gate there I picked up 2 park passes, annual park passes. They're $80, and if you think about it, we're gonna go to 2 parks on this trip, and the entry per vehicle is about $40 each, so it kind of pays for itself right there, and then you can hit national parks all year. So this is about the 3rd year in a row that we've got the annual passes, and it's a really good idea. National parks are completely epic, and if you can get this time of year before the big crowds come in, it's even better. In 1872, Yellowstone became the first national park, preserving over 2 million acres of wilderness for future generations to respect and enjoy.
Wow.
It is a land of natural beauty, a truly wild place with incredible geothermal wonders, clear lakes, and powerful rivers. It is home to grizzly and black bear, herds of buffalo, elk, deer, antelope, and packs of wolves. And despite the millions of people that visit the park each year, this great wilderness continues to find its natural balance. So we're at the south entrance of the Yellowstone National Park right now. We just kind of drove through. We stopped a few times. There's so many epic things to see. You definitely can't do it in one day. But there was quite a few people on the different boardwalks, so we're thinking we might go south, do what we're going to do down there, and then on the way back we'll try to hit it early in the morning and avoid some of the crowds. So we'll see how that strategy works. As we drove along the main road, we saw a little dirt road to our left, and we decided to take it. We're out of the park, and we took a side road in here. We've got epic view of the mountains in the background. It's probably a little overexposed right now, but as the sun goes down, we should be able to get some awesome shots of that. We're in a little cul-de-sac, a dead end here, and it looks like a bit of a hiking trail. So there's no signs that say you can't camp here. So we're thinking, you know, if nobody tells us otherwise, we're far enough away from everything. We're just gonna chill here for a bit, and then when the sun goes down, we'll pop the tents and see if we can spend the night out here. But there's free roaming buffalo and antelope. There's an antelope right there. It's an epic spot. We're right by a little lake. We can hear the Canadian geese, and like I said, the Grand Tetons, which are very grand, are off in the distance. So this is a beautiful spot. After a short break from the road, we decided to head on down the trail to try and get a little further off grid. Before long, we found a beautiful trail leading us further into the backcountry. Soon we were crossing streams and driving deeper into remote country before finding the perfect place to set up camp for the night with a spectacular view of the mountains in front of us.
So tonight we are making a garlic butter cream corn chicken. Got some fresh thyme, some corn, some coconut milk. It's gonna be tasty. It's just some Thai and pepper and just mixing it in there. Should we shove it on this side? Get that a little bit more.
So we're watching the sun go down here. I have to tell you, this is an epic camp spot. In the background we have the Grand Tetons, and if you haven't been here to see them, I think it's a must. They're like the Rocky Mountains but rockier. They're jagged, they just stand out on the horizon like no other mountain range we've ever seen. Just beautiful. And so we've been able to get away from the crowds, away from the national park. We crossed a few little river crossings and headed out a rough little single track road, and we're out here in the middle of the sagebrush, and there's antelope running around. It's idyllic setting. We're so comfortable here, making some delicious food. Carol and Caitlin, me and Keith are setting up camp, and we're just gonna watch the sun go down and enjoy a view of a lifetime. As many times as we get to see these types of views, they just never get boring. Someone asked us recently, do you guys ever get bored of gorgeous views? And like, 2 words, N-O.
Yeah.
right, so we just had a really good sleep here in the view of the Grand Tetons. It was quiet. We had a river running in the background. Just a perfect camp spot again. And we carried on down the trail, but it dead-ended at a river. So it looks like on GPS at one point there was a river crossing, but they had some signs up there. I think the land has now become part of the park, so it's managed by the Park Service, and they don't want people crossing that particular river. So we turned around and we're heading back the way we came, and we'll get out to the highway and head down to Jackson, Wyoming. That's an old cabin. Looks like an original.
The river right behind you?
You've got a trout river behind you. You've got the mountains in the background. What a setting. That's so cool.
It's gorgeous.
We're going down these little back roads, finding these old homesteads, and just can't imagine what it was like back in the day for the settlers. We were talking earlier saying, man, if we were coming across in a wagon train, saw those mountains in the background, we've got fresh water, we've got trout streams and buffalo and antelope everywhere. I'd probably settle right here as well.
It's just a bathroom and a bedroom.
Simple. This used to be the Bar Flying U Ranch, owned by a guy named J. Pierce Cunningham. And back in the day when the Rockefellers were buying up all the land around here, he initially opposed the expansion of the park, but eventually he sold the land to the Rockefellers, and then the Rockefellers donated it to the National Park Service, 33,000 acres here. When Rockefeller came here, there was some cheap looking gas stations and maybe an old casino and things like that going up, and he thought, man, if we don't do something about it, it'll commercialize and it'll ruin this gorgeous view. So they put a plan together to buy up all the land, and when they were finished they donated it to the Park Service. So I'm really glad they did that. Come with us, we're going to take a walk down to the old original cabin where Cunningham lived back in the 1800s. Would have been a tough life for sure. The winters up here, they're very harsh. So these are the only buildings left, but there were several buildings, a couple of barns and sheds. So it was quite the homestead in its day. So we stopped here in the national park again, and we're going to take a hike partway up into the Tetons. So we're looking forward to that. We'll, if we get up to some views, we'll definitely share them with you. Mules, they must do packing trips up here in the mountains. That'd be kind of neat to do one day.
So those of you who have been wondering who this couple is with us, this is my brother who's married to my best friend, Caitlin. This is a super special couples trip that we're taking with them to the Grand Tetons and to Yellowstone National Park. We've been trying for years to meet up on the road, and we finally did. It's their 10th anniversary trip, and they wanted to spend it with us out in the wilderness, and just couldn't be more happy to spend time with them. We love them dearly. Happy anniversary, guys.
Those folks are looking for a missing person. He's been gone for a week, and so a couple of search dogs have gone by. So we're gonna keep our eyes open, but a week, and he only packed in a few things, so yeah, we're gonna help them search while we're on the trail, and yeah, we just pray for him and the family. Hopefully he gets found alive. Search and rescue helicopters flying above us. We're quite a ways back here on the trail, and they're still looking for that gentleman. Yeah, like I said earlier, he's been gone or missing for a full week. There's plenty of water up here. There's lots of sources of really fresh water, but you know, he could have fallen somewhere and gotten hurt, so we're keeping up the search. Hope they find them. So we just finished the Taggart Lake hike here in Teton National Park, and it's a gorgeous hike. I mean, it's not that difficult. It's a climb up to the lake, and then there's a big loop around back down to the parking lot. We highly recommend it. The views are spectacular. So now we're gonna head down to Jackson Hole, and we feel like we've earned our lunch, so we're gonna try to find a cool place to eat. We came here, I think 3 years ago, last time we were through. Dan, my son Dan, was just a little guy with long blonde hair and all into fishing of all kinds, but he got into fly fishing, and then we met Scott. Scott Sanchez has written a bunch of books on fly fishing, and he just fish all over the place, I guess.
Yeah, trying to get out, support my bad habits.
If you ever find yourself in Jackson, Wyoming, make sure to stop by High Country Outfitters and say hi to Scott Sanchez. He's a local legend in the fly fishing world.
We're just sitting here in Jackson, Wyoming, having a burger, and the Jeep commercial with Caroline's photograph keeps coming up, so it's kind of fun to see it. We hadn't seen it yet because we haven't been near a TV for a long time, but anyway, that was a neat experience. Good. All right, we've got a bright sunny day, so we're getting 300, almost 300 watts coming in to charge up our Jackery. We're using it a lot, charging cameras, and I'm doing some editing, so charging the big laptop. But yeah, we're making good use of this sun. 300, between, yeah, 298, 311. That'll charge up in no time. So it's a really hot day. I think it's about 98 degrees. So we wanted something down by the river, so we just kept driving down the back road, and sure enough, there was this little spot. It's not a big spot, but we were able to get both Jeeps tucked into the woods here. I think we're gonna go down and dip our feet and our legs in the cold mountain water. That should be refreshing on a day like this.
That cold. Jump in. Oh. Wow. Oh, it's icy. Oh, it feels good though.
A short walk from where we were camped, we noticed a beautiful lake, and we decided to take a dip in the chilly water.
Alright guys, so it's dinner time and everyone is chilling, and so I thought I would whip together a few little street tacos. So I hope you guys like it.
We took one last walk by the river before leaving the Grand Tetons and driving north. We will head into Yellowstone National Park to see some of its sights and wonders. We also head towards Big Sky, Montana to find a place to camp and to try our hand at fly fishing, a beloved Montana tradition.
And in the meantime,
We'll see you down the road.
First shot! First shot!
Nailed it.
how do you feel?
Oh,
Feels good?
My heart is pounding. This is just incredible.
Yeah. How long were you practicing?
At least the last month,
Yeah.
maybe month and a half.
Working with a coach?
Yeah, Caitlin was coaching me every night.
Nice. Well, you nailed it, man.
Awesome.
Pretty proud of you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks.